So yesterday was the first, and possibly for the time being, only, I guess you could say, day of layoffs when it comes to this new Endeavor WWE UFC merger. Because pretty much, you know, everybody has said it. Everybody has said that since, Endeavor has their own, departments basically that are the same as what WWE has, they don't need two of the same. They don't need two of the same departments, if you will, running at the same time. So basically, some people have to be let go. And there was some notable names. Some that have been there for years. Some that just kind of agreed on an extension to stay, stuff like that. And probably the most surprising one that really got people talking out of some of the other names was Dana Warrior. That's right, Jim Hellwig's Ultimate Warrior's wife. And she was part of the company as an ambassador, someone that, basically, I guess you could say, was cool, was not, well, like I said, not just an ambassador and a spokeswoman for the company, but also somebody that was, pretty much involved with the Warrior Award, that gets handed out at the Hall of Fame, being a part of that, basically being, a crucial part of that and being a way to remember her husband and his legacy. Well, the question people now have is what's going to happen with that. My thought is Dana will still show up. She'll still be invited to present the Warrior Award. They're not going to get rid of that. And that mainly, all she's probably going to do is just have to look for work, afterwards. She's just got to look for work afterwards, elsewhere, or just pretty much settle in and have, a nice little, I guess you could say semi-retirement if she wants that or whatever. Or just go back to what she did before. Who knows? But yeah, there were a lot of layoffs yesterday. Probably not as many as people thought. And yes, in time there will be more. But what really got people talking about it, what really got people talking was the whole, oh, we're going to see roster cuts. We're going to see this. We're going to see that person go. We're going to see that person go. Dot, 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 dot. And it's like, really? You guys are saying something's going to happen when pretty much since the beginning, since, the announcement of this acquisition becoming a reality, you guys are pretty much coming out and saying that that certain talents are going to get cut. When you already knew that wasn't probably going to be the case, as the months went on and more reports and rumors came out that basically the only, things that might be cut are, the offices in Stanford and stuff, certain departments. You're still playing up of, oh, this person's going to get let go. That person's going to get let go. Oh, there goes that person. There goes that person. It's like, it's almost like these fans. Now, I don't know if they're diehard AEW fans, and casual WWE fans. I don't know if they're just fans that, just like to cause trouble, stuff like that. Or if they're fans of both companies, but they kind of favor one over the other. I don't know, what it is with these fans, but you would think they'd realize that what they were hoping for was not going to happen. It was not going to happen. And if it did, don't you think people like Sean Ross Sapp, Mike Johnson, and other very reliable sources, BWE, if you will, Wrestle Ops, who's kind of semi-reliable, whatever, don't you think they would have came out and said, yeah, this is going to happen, we're going to see some talents go? Do you not think they would have been the first to, through their informants at WWE, pretty much mention that in some capacity? Do you not think they would have done that? Of course they would have. Of course they would have. But here's why people don't want to talk about that. Why people are saying, oh, this happened, that happened, this happened, that happened. Oh, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, da, da, da. Here's why people are doing that. I mean, they even tried to ruin Alex's good mood on Thursday. See, Alex of Alex's World, formerly Deluxe Man, was doing a live reaction to night one. It's a 2-week event. Night one of 1,000 episodes of Impact. Yeah, 1,000 episodes of Impact. So he was doing a reaction, and in the middle of the reaction, because he was taking breaks, he would pause the video. He's probably watching it on YouTube. But he would take a break, and he would look, at the live chat, and somebody in the live chat said, "This is good." Somebody named Hawks is whatever his name is, comes out and says, "Oh, massive budget cuts, massive releases tomorrow. It's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen," or something like that, and it kind of dropped the mood a little bit, and you can kind of tell Haas, and even a lot of people were telling Alex this in the live chat. They say, "Don't believe this guy. He's got a reputation for saying this stuff, and most of the time it's not true. Take it with a pinch of salt." And that's and you kind of tell that Alex was disappointed in hearing the news, not liking the idea that, well, on Friday, yesterday, he may have to talk about mass releases, and it didn't happen. It's like, it's like Alex kind of knew, hopefully, that wasn't going to happen, even though he informed his team that he works with on his channel. Even though he knew it probably wasn't going to happen, it's like it kind of brought it down. But, this is what really gets me. It's like, why do fans do this? It's like, why do they do this and everything when they know, as I mentioned earlier, pretty much since the beginning, we always knew that the main budget cuts, if any, were going to be the offices of Stamford, Connecticut of WWE. Why would people constantly say, "Oh, it's going to be this person getting cut, that person"? Why would they think it's some of the superstars or a lot of superstars? Why would they do that? I mean, some people even put lists out saying, "I bet it's going to be all these people. I bet it's going to be these people. I bet. And even some people that saw these lists, they were just laughing and being like, "Seriously? You think this is going to happen? That person's going to get released, or that person's going to get released, or, oh, wait a minute, didn't that lady already let her contract expire?" They would laugh at it. They would laugh at it because some of these lists, have someone like Shinsuke Nakamura on there. And Nakamura's in a main event program for the World Championship right now. It's like, why would they cut him? It's like, what is going on? Why would they do this? And it's real simple. It's because they want attention. They like to troll. They like to just rub it in people's faces and go like, "Ha ha, see, you take it too seriously. Nah, 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 nah." That's what they like to do. But also, if they're the kind of fans that are more in favor of, let's say, AEW, they do it because they are hoping and praying that this person or that person or whatever gets released, and then they'll go to AEW and they'll get the dream matches. That's what they're hoping for. That's why they do it. It isn't just to troll people and rub it in their face and go, "Nah, nah, 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 nah. See, you fell for it. You take it too seriously. You should just have fun and enjoy it for what it is. Nah, 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 nah." It's not just that. But they also do it because if they favor AEW or New Japan, or Impact more so over WWE than anything, then they want those talents to be, that they would list off, they would want those talents to be released just because they want them to go to these companies and be like, "Ooh, Shinsuke Nakamura against Kenny Omega. Ooh, what about that's going to be? Flips and kicks. That's what they want. And that's why, they were hoping there would be massive cuts. They'd be hoping, talent would be released, but that's not the case. And everybody has pretty much, pointed it out in their own way that since Ari Emanuel is now the boss and Nick Khan is the president, they don't think these guys are going to, basically fire people because, oh, well, we have nothing for them. How many fighters work for UFC under Dana White, who is the CEO president, if you will? How many of them work for the UFC, fight for the UFC, ever since, Endeavor purchased them? How many still work for them? A lot. How many of them been, fired or released? Not many, if at all. The point is, I don't think no talents have anything to worry about. I think what will happen And so when a talent's contract comes up, they might talk about renegotiating it and everything, but more than likely, that talent might, either say, yeah, we agree to the terms to stay, or they might say, look, I had a good time here. I did what I could. I want to go explore my options elsewhere. And that's it. I think mainly they're going to be more about let the contract expire and then go from there. Just go from there. Let the talent decide whether they want to stay. They're either going to go somewhere else. Maybe they want to take a break from wrestling. Whatever. Just to me, it's just going to be one of those situations to where we're not going to have to worry about anything. We really won't. And on top of that, as many people point out, Vince McMahon does not have the power to fire people. He doesn't. Which again kind of correlates with me thinking personally, Vince does not like Ari Emanuel. He doesn't. I don't think he truly likes Ari Emanuel. He just acts like he does, so that way he makes himself look good. But in reality, I don't think he likes him. I mean, I always play around with the idea that if Vince was to try to sneak in and try to insert his will and act like he still ran things, he's still the boss, he's still the owner, that Ari Emanuel would come in and say, Vince, what are you doing? And then Vince would turn around and go like, oh, Ari, I didn't see you there. You go do your thing, Paul. You go do your thing. I was just playing with him, Ari. I was just playing. You go do your thing, Paul. I was just playing with him. And then, under her breath, he would just look at Ari, like shoot him a look, like kind of shoot him like a disdain look when Ari's not looking and be like, and Vince under his breath would be like, I hate you. That's how I think Vince McMahon feels about the guy. That if Ari Emanuel was to, show up and kind of prevent Vince from trying to, or at least surprise Vince to where Vince wouldn't be able to do what he wants to do, like people are fearing, that deep down Vince would just like shoot him a look when he's not looking and be like, and under his breath be like, I hate you, because he does. I don't think he likes Ari Emanuel, and I'm just going to stick to that point, right? And I'm going to stick to that belief for a long time. I really do. And to me, this is why fans shouldn't worry about talents being fired or released, because I think or being cut, if you will. I think what's going to happen is it's going to be more about let the contract expire, and in between then try to negotiate a new one. Or if the talent asks for a release and say, hey, I want to take time off, I want to relax my body, I want to go into a semi-retirement, or hey, I don't feel like I'm doing much here. Let me go off and work the independents, and maybe other companies see what I can do. We right now are in that kind of an era where something like that will and can occur more so over than someone being fired or released. That's what I think will happen. And with talks of possibly Phil Brooks, CM Punk, maybe coming in, probably by Survivor Series, that's another good example of, hey, we're in a new era. And this is something that obviously you wouldn't see coming, even if Vince still ran the company. But that's just how a lot of people see it. But in closing, for those that would, everybody has said we don't have nothing to worry about the talents. It was just the office layoffs. That's all it was. And for those that want to make it about the talents, again, those are mainly fans that want to see these talents in other companies for their dream matches. Or they're just fans that are trying to troll and say, ha, you take it too seriously, ha, just enjoy it. But that's just my thought on it, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are. Comment below, live chat during the premiere, and I am out.